Jesus, you break protocol for my sake, yo. I've been dead for back, you change the direction, now I'm in front. Then me give me drop and quench, you come out and throw over their fence. Rock of ages, my mouth is full of praises, oh God. All the sickness from my body, you nail them for cross of Calvary. You make it rain for my sake. The elements that you made, all obey me and all in favor of me. Hey, you break protocol for my sake. Jesus, you break protocol for my sake, yo. You break protocol for my sake.
Good morning, Lagos. My name is Ademowo Adeolu Solomon. This is Lagoonradio, #1 online gospel radio. And the time is 9:38. And this is newspaper review. And with me here today is Sharps. And introduce yourself, Mom.
Good morning. My name is Simidele Okay. How you doing? How's your day going? Hope you're doing all right.
Good morning.
Good morning. On the front line of New Telegraph, 2023 youth begin search for Buhari's successor. I don't know who is going to be Buhari's successor. Who do you guys think will be Buhari's successor?
You joke.
I read in the news today, they said, it says after the regime of, I hope APC will not fail after Buhari's tenure in the office. So we don't know who his successor might be. Or are you interested?
See the eyes.
It's not easy to rule Nigeria. It's not easy to rule Nigeria at all. It's a difficult task.
Ruling Nigeria is just like marrying how many wives? It's just like having a lot of women under you. Even one woman self, it takes the grace of God to manage her. You know, you need to have encyclopedia of guidelines to actually cope with one woman, not to talk of many women and not to talk of Nigeria. But it is where the Lord is their muzzle.
Okay.
Yep. Also on the national economy, 11.2 billion daily illicit financial flow draw back from Nigeria's development goal. That's a difficult one. Let me just to buttress the point so that I won't go off. It says Nigeria will not renew to go borrowing to meet our development gains of daily 11.2 billion illicit financial flow trend now and forever. The African Union illicit financial flow reports estimated that Africa is losing nearly $50 billion through profit shifting by multi-international corporation, and about 20% of this figure is from Nigeria alone.
Wow.
Can you imagine?
Wow.
In as much as we're still borrowing, we keep
Wow.
borrowing.
Wow.
And until we stop.
Don't worry. From next year now, everybody will averagely you'll be sharp. You'll be owing 217,000 naira.
Oh,
Solomon,
it's
you'll
true.
be
Yeah,
owing
yeah, yeah.
217.
That's true.
I mean, I don't know if I'm a Nigerian really. I'm still trying to.
Yeah, and you never.
Are you a Congolese?
I'm still trying to look for my. I'm from Seme. I'm just trying to look for my own country anyway.
Why do we keep borrowing? Keep borrowing to sustain our economy.
That question.
We shall be all right.
All right. Sharps, what do you have with you?
Okay. Well, the Nigerian Tribune, boldly written on the front page, says the opposition mounts as Onochie's supporters infiltrate Senate. You can get the story on page 22. And the writer to that story says, we will block a nomination. PDP Buhari copied Jonathan. APC Senate must prove it is not rubber stamp. Pandef has come out to say this. You can get the story on page 22. And also on the front page, we see PDP files suit to unseat Zamfara governor deputy. You can get the story on page 23 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. I know nothing about ISWAP appointing governor in charge of Borno. Zulum has come out to say. You can get the story on page 2 of the Nigerian Tribune. Abducted Emir freed. 13 family members still in captivity. You can get this on page 27. Ohaneze, Kogi Governor Bika over power shift. You can get the story on page 23. And at the very bottom of that, we see COVID-19. 2 die of dreaded Delta variant in Oyo. And the writer to the story says, 1 isolated as contact tracing begins. Monitor foreign travelers. Sanwo-Olu tells immigration. You can get the story on page 2 and 3 of the Nigerian Tribune. Wajabe Amila pledges support for press freedom. You can get the story on page 6. DMO to auction 150 billion naira federal government bonds Monday. You can get this on page 6 of the Nigerian Tribune. No plan to privatize TCN, says BPE. You can get the story on page 7 of the Nigerian Tribune.
Okay, and moving on to Nigerian News Direct at the top. That's from the editorial. Press censorship. Catastrophe looms in returning Nigeria to reckless military days. You can get that on page 8 of the Nigerian News Direct. And from NIMASA, Deep Blue project driven by competent manpower. Okay, you can get that on page 29 of the Nigerian News Direct. And boldly written on the front page of the Nigerian News Direct, we have mass surveillance. NAS allegedly approves 4.87 billion naira for NIA, and the writer on the dat to monitor track calls and WhatsApp messages. Wow.
Wow.
Like wow, as in wow. Okay, as a syrup to challenge blatant violations of Nigerians' right. Then other writer under that, Ubani Akingbolu say approval unbelievable and illegal. You can get the details on page 3 of the Nigerian News Direct, and still on Nigerian News Direct on page 9, alleged funds misappropriation. Judge threatens to order arrest of Stella Odua. Really? After how many years? Okay. Threatens. Is it threatens or moves to order? Okay, whichever way.
Threatens.
Best of luck. Okay, and still on Nigerian News Direct, 2.8 billion naira fraud. ICPC arraigns ex-Surveyor General. I would do. Wow, that's actually. I think this. Should I say the arraignment now? It's going to lead to something positive. You know, that's if it's found guilty. I think the right judgment should be passed. The right punishment should be passed. Not swept under the carpet as usual. And still on the Nigerian News Direct, Oyetola launches mass production of Adire or Shun. We can get that on page 20 of Nigerian News Direct. We actually talked about that yesterday. As the governor of Osun State has declared Adire Day in Osun, I think every is it Wednesday or Thursday, like everyone, like all the state workers would be in Adire. Yeah, you put on your Adire to work, and like so.
It's gonna look beautiful.
It's actually official. It's going to look beautiful. I think we should
I can imagine.
We should do that in Lagoonradio. We should do something like that.
That is true.
You say what?
You should do that.
Excuse me. I think that's all on Nigerian News Direct. For more details, you can just go into Nigerian News Direct papers and get more details. Solomon.
Moving on to People's Daily, page 5 says no to anti-free speech, anti-media law. I think talking about this, I saw something like that around yesterday, and I was thinking, I don't know the reason why they are limiting the speech of the media. When you look at it, I could remember vividly when channels showed something and then they actually punished them for it for a few days or so. This has been going on and on. And there are some things in Nigeria that the media need to expose. They can't keep on covering and covering up for you. I don't know.
The covering up, I think, is just too much. I thought we had freedom of speech. Then when has it become, especially for media? I mean, we shouldn't have this. We shouldn't be having this kind of discussion as media.
We shouldn't. Okay, moving on. Zulu to ISWAP. I am in charge as Borno governor, not you. 6 Buhari's help on refugees repatriation. You can see that on page 5 of the Daily News. Abjured Emir of Kajuru regains freedom. Tambuwai task NAS over electronic transmission of election results.
Wow.
That's funny. I have PDP not to run for president. Bauchi governor. I don't think.
On top this election is coming.
In fact, you know the case here in this our dear country Nigeria, the more you look, the less you see.
Exactly.
So advise that while you are looking, please
look less.
Look less. and actually put your sanity into consideration, because you're hearing one thing today and you're hearing another thing tomorrow, and you're trying to put things together and you're like, are you kidding me? So please, can you move on?
On page 4, Electoral Act. Secondus urges senators, reps to save nation's democracy. Are we really practicing the democracy? What do they want to save?
Okay, now.
Then on page 19, Power. TCN World Bank trained 708 electrical engineers, linesmen. Wow.
Wow.
That's impressive, though.
It's a
Well,
It's impressive.
Everything and anything in this country is
wow.
It's wow.
yes. Okay, moving on to the Nigerian Pilot. Malami meets Ohaneze over Nnamdi Kanu. You can get the story on page 9 of the Nigerian Pilot. PDP goes to court once Zamfara governor sacked over defection. Kidede. Well, you can get the story on page 11 of the Nigerian Pilot. Boldly written on the front page, no extrajudicial killing. You can get the story on page 8, and the right after that says, Nigerian Army says it will not tolerate any act of human rights violation by its personnel. Insists it remains disciplined, professional organization that doesn't tolerate indiscipline. All this you get on page 8 of the Nigerian Pilot. Muzzling the press and freedom of expression in Nigeria. We just talked about that. Well, it's on the front page, and you can continue reading the story on page 3 of the Nigerian Pilot. Yeah. Nigeria won't need external borrowings if ...
If what? Oh, please.
They didn't finish. They didn't finish the statement.
Okay, let me finish.
That was why I read it like
that's why she said if ... EKS.
If and only if each citizen pays, their 217,000
naira by 2022. Says ICPC. Well, you can get the story. It's really an interesting one. You might want to check it out. It's on page 7 of the Nigerian Pilot. Senator Abari Bey cautions state assemblies against stifling opposition. You can get the story on page 11. Court threatens to issue arrest warrant against Stella Odua. You can get the story on page 12 of the Nigerian Pilot. Listen to Nigerians on electoral bill. Tambuwal tells NAS. You can get this on page 6. Electoral Act. Save Nigerians' democracy. Secondus tells NAS. You can get this on page 7 of the Nigerian Pilot. Southwest governors propose 6 regions. Demand local government autonomy, resource control. While I know they finish. Well, you get the story on page 8 of the Nigerian Pilot. BPE project 500 billion naira front privatization in 2021, says the DG. Can get the story on page 5 of the Nigerian Pilot.
All right, moving on to Blueprint. Pensioners cry out over PENCOM's failure to pay arrears. arrears. I don't know. I think this people deserve to be paid. So
Yes.
you don't what is arrears again? I don't understand. Why do you keep owing these people? Most of them don't have anything they are doing. They depend solely on their pensions. So why suffer them? I don't know. Why suffer them? There's this one of this pension, should I say commission, or all this private pension, Mofuruka Bolashi, really. Like there's this man, while he was working, they came to him and sensitized him about the benefit of pension and all that. The man wasn't working with the government. He worked as a driver, and up till date they've not paid this man his pension. Like they kept posting him up and down like that. I mean, personally, my own pension, if you are monitoring it back to back, oh my God.
Because as a monitoring spirit
oh
that
Lord,
you
I'm
are.
gracious. You see the way I'm monitoring it, like you vomit every kobo. It's my money.
Your sweat.
It's my sweat.
Yeah.
You're taking it from the money I'm working for. So why don't you want to give me while I'm no longer working?
Okay.
So you have to give me. So I'm still saving it with them. By the time I'm done, I'm going to call it. Yeah, happy
You
saving.
become a billionaire.
I'm actually thinking of buying a house in Banana Island. Not just a house,
That's
a duplex, like a penthouse. Let me put it that way,
Yay.
penthouse. Yeah, hallelujah. Or I can build my house at the middle of the lagoon.
Lagoon.
Okay, you can get that on page 8 of the Blueprint Papers. As APC, best for your people, Buhari tells Ayade Matawale, and party congress begins July 31. Bumi right INEC. Can get the full details on page 7 of the Blueprint Papers, and boldly written at the top of the Blueprint Papers, 2,371 kidnapped. 10 billion naira ransom demanded in the first half of year 2021. Report says. You can get a full report on page 6 of the Blueprint Papers. Why Matawale must vacate office, PDP tells court. Okay, we can get the why on page 20 of the Blueprint Papers. And as regards the Constitution review, Southwest governors demand 6 regions, states as federating units, and a writer under that says seek local government autonomy and resource control, as Ekweremadu advocates single-term rotational presidency. And on the front page comment, halt the bill to amend the Press Act, NBC. Who is halting the bill? Who is saying that? You can get that on page 10 of the Blueprint Papers. And right at the bottom of the Blueprint Papers, 36 hours after abduction, Kajuru Emir regains freedom, others still held. You can get that
Why
on
is
page
it
5.
the one that has been freed?
You can get the details on page 5 of the Blueprint Papers.
Okay, now. We'll find
Then,
out.
still on the Blueprint Papers, in Lagos, man bags 2 weeks community service for stealing at police station. What God, what effrontery! Like you
audacity.
went to the police station.
People
What
really,
audacity.
people really have mind. I don't know where they get that mind
What
from.
audacity.
It's
But
just like
it's
saying
too
you're
much.
going to. It's just like saying you're going to army barracks to go and cause trouble.
Is that, are you not looking for trouble?
In
You are
fact,
looking for trouble.
I
now.
believe village people must be involved in
Your
this.
village people, they are behind you
They
like
are
this,
behind
like hunchback.
But really, I think the punishment is actually fair enough. 2 weeks community service. Yeah, serve your community. It's because you are jobless. That's why you went to
Yeah,
police
it's
station.
police
Yes,
station
now.
still,
Yes,
right?
still.
So you can get the details on the inside of the Blueprint Papers. I admitted killing Super TV CEO under pressure, Chidinma says, because yesterday we were hearing another thing.
That's
Yes,
She
yes,
didn't know
in the
anything
video,
about
yes.
it. And the way the man was tied, he was tied so tight that the rope entered his skin and all that. That was what I actually read yesterday. And because I was like, you said so, you accused someone of murder, and the case is still not conclusive. I'm like, what's going on?
I knew this was going to happen. I knew at some point she was probably going to turn the whole story.
Maybe she's turning it to be true, or she's turning it not to be true. I think that in this life there are 2 people you can't actually deceive. You can't deceive yourself. And you
Yes,
can't deceive
the
God.
commissioner of police said, well, the whole thing is afterthoughts, because initially they had a video of Confessing. That
Yeah.
was after a night she was arrested
Yeah.
in her apartment in her house, and now you're coming out to say another thing.
Ugh.
And now she's even saying she was under pressure. I mean, you can't be under pressure and lie against yourself. I mean, it's not
Shab,
possible.
you've not found yourself in that situation. By
well,
the time you're under
it's true,
durex,
there's
they will
some-
give you biro to write
Yes,
statement. You
you
write.
write what
You
you
won't
don't
even know what you will. You will. You will write.
I
Oh
don't,
my God.
I don't pray for such to happen
so
to me.
it actually happens really, but I know that as time goes on, the truth will be unfolded. And lastly, on Blueprint Papers, Borno ISWAP has no governor. I'm in charge, Zulum declares. He declared that on page 5 of the Blueprint Papers.
All right, because time is fast spent, I will just quickly take the Business Day newspaper. Boldly written on the front page is Nigerian army may dismiss as foreign investors eye Africans mobile money. And the writer to that says, as cars PSB license slows take off. And you can can continue reading the story on page 30 of the Business Day newspaper. And at the side, we have an editorial. The new media bill is setback for our democracy. You can continue reading this on page 12 of the Business Day newspaper. And inside the paper, we have University of Oxford, FMDQ to accelerate Nigeria's startup ecosystem. You can get this on pages A4, yes, of the Business Day newspaper.
So it is where we talk. So Nigeria may miss as foreign investors eye Africans mobile money. Please don't let us miss you. Now God, I take beg you. We have not even missed if we are going. If we now miss, okay. Kasala we bust. It is where we toss in Jesus' name. In the name of the Father and of the Son
And of the Holy Spirit. And that's all we can take on the newspaper review this morning.
Yeah, that was all. We thank you very much for joining us this morning. I know you are still going to join us same time next week, same moment, but not the same host, and it will be different people. This is Lagoon Radio, your number one online gospel radio, the first and the best. I used to tell my friend that Lagoon Radio is one and others.
Yeah.
My friend was like, "What are you saying?" I said, "Lagoon Radio is number one and others. Don't waste time. Come and join us. Keep watching us. Share with your family and friends abroad, home and abroad, everywhere in the world." Thank you very much for joining us this morning. My name is still Ademo Adelu Solomon.
And I'm Taiwo Adiola Shabilubi.
I'm also Olabisi Simidele. Okay, since everyone is calling their full names. Thank you.
No. All right, thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.
You are listening to Lagoon Radio.